From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Sunday, April 23rd, 2017. Silver is trading at $17.94 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,285 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 2.2 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $1,245. Antiwar.com reports members of the Afghan parliament were warning that the death toll is continuing to rise over the weekend after Friday's infiltration and attack of an Afghan military base near Mazar-e-Sharif, which was initially reported to have killed around 50 soldiers and is now shaping up to be the single deadliest Afghan attack on the military in the entire war. Taliban attackers in Afghan military vehicles wearing uniforms got through the external checkpoint to the base, bombing their way past a secondary checkpoint, then launched shooting attacks against the base mosque, just finishing Friday prayers, and then the cafeteria, which was just starting to serve lunch. At least 140 people are now confirmed dead, with some warning the toll could ultimately exceed 200. Afghan officials are reeling after the incident, both because the area around the base was long considered an unusually calm part of Afghanistan, and because it took only a handful of Taliban to kill such a large number of Afghan soldiers in the surprise attack. The Taliban reported 10 attackers involved in the strike, as well as 4 Afghan soldiers who were on the base working as infiltrators, who led the rest of the attackers to the places with the most people. Considering some 3,000 to 4,000 soldiers were in the mosque at the time of the attack, some are saying the toll could easily have been a lot worse. The Afghan government has ordered a day of mourning after the attack and has promised an investigation to try to find the soldiers who helped the Taliban. Given the omnipresence of Taliban infiltrators throughout security forces, however, rooting out those specific ones may be an enormous task. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports retail giant Sears said it will close 50 auto centers and 92 underperforming pharmacies inside Kmart stores in a bid to further cut costs in the face of rising red ink. The cuts come just 4 months after the Hoffman Estates, Illinois-based retailer, announced it would be closing 150 Sears and Kmart department stores across the country. At the time, CEO Edward Lampert said the company needed to reduce operating costs by $1 billion. In announcing the new round of closures on Friday, Lampert said the cost cut would now total $1.25 billion. In addition to the auto centers and pharmacies, the company said it would work to reduce its corporate management ranks, though it offered no estimate of how many jobs would be cut at the corporate level. And in yet another move to boost the bottom line, Sears recently sold its Craftsman brand of tools to competitor Stanley Black & Decker in a deal worth $900 million. The company brought in an additional $177 million by selling properties. Sears has not turned a profit in 7 years and racked up $2.2 billion in losses in 2016. You can support FPP Radio by shopping online. Whether you're looking for precious metals, bitcoins, or books, you'll find that and more at shop.fppradio.com. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates helps fund FPP Radio. That's shop.fppradio.com. Reuters reports President Donald Trump has promised a big announcement next week on overhauling the U.S. tax code. The top campaign pledge will consist of broad-based policies and priorities, according to an administration official on Saturday. The president unexpectedly said on Friday at a Treasury Department event that there will be a big announcement on Wednesday having to do with tax reform. In a Twitter message, he wrote, "Big tax reform and tax reductions will be announced next Wednesday." Asked for details, the administration official, who asked not to be identified, said, "We will outline our broad principles and priorities on Wednesday." Trump has struggled as president to advance his domestic policy agenda, including on taxes, even though his Republican Party controls both chambers of Congress. With his 100th day in office only a week away, he has yet to offer any formal legislation or win passage of a major bill he favors. Under U.S. law, only Congress can make significant tax law changes, though the president often drives the tax agenda by offering legislation. No legislation or formal tax plan has yet been introduced by President Trump. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.